Rhonda, did you get your glass already?
Oh.
Yeah?
This is both, I'll be honest.
I'm trying glasses.
Maybe. You didn't say please. Okay, fine. This is my favorite part and my least favorite part because A, I know what this is going to taste like. Even though I've not had this vintage, I know what decanting has done to this wine. Least favorite part is it's not always the easiest to pour from this into this.
According to your big glass.
This is a different story. So you know what? Start with this.
That's all?
Well, the reason I'm doing that is one of you is going to get to drink this.
Ooh. Aaron, are you going to need glasses? I have another dozen back here that are clean.
Just for the next one. So, there we go. Somebody's actually going to get to taste a 2010 Cabernet Sauvignon from a proper Cabernet glass. And I call it a Cabernet glass because the glass makes a difference. If you put a Chardonnay in that glass, it's going to taste like garbage. If you put a Chardonnay in a Riesling glass or a Pinot Noir glass, it's not going to taste right. Like I said, 90% of your sense of taste comes from your sense of smell. That's why you eat Lipton's chicken noodle soup when you're sick, because you don't know what it tastes like. Because if you eat it when you're healthy, you'll know that it tastes like peanuts.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Who eats Lipton's chicken noodle soup when you're healthy?
No.
Exactly. I rest my case. What happens when you put the wine in the wrong glass is you're going to get the wrong amount of wine at the wrong spot on your palate. So a Chardonnay glass typically has a very large bowl and a very wide mouth, but it's got a very sharp slant to it. So you're going to get a heavy stream about that wide hitting the middle of your palate. A Riesling glass is a lot more tapered like this. You're going to get a narrower stream hitting farther back on your palate. A Sauvignon Blanc is different. A Baco Noir glass has a very wide bowl, but very small mouth. So again, you get a very narrow stream that tends to hit closer to the front of your palate. Cab, you can see where it's going to hit. You can see the stream of wine coming, tapers to a fine point. I'll sort of walk around and show you. So you can see it tapering, but you're still getting a fairly smooth. Who likes Pinot Noir and Valpolicella? Okay, you know it's the same grape, right? Okay.
Yeah.
The Pinot Noir glass actually has a small flare to it that they call the acid bump. That causes, because Pinot Noir has such a tannic structure to it, that acid bump takes the wine as it tapers and spreads it out, so you get a thin blanket across your entire palate. It makes the tannic structure softer and allows you to actually taste it as opposed to just getting that of the tannins, whether you decant it or not. The glass makes the difference.
And Valpolicella is the same.
Valpolicella is a region in Italy.
Yeah, right.
It's made from Pinot Noir.
Really?
Yes. Which is the healthiest red wine you can drink because its tannic structure fights bad cholesterol better than any other red wine.
Pinot Noir and Valpolicella. I like the Pinot Noir from Oregon.
Tannic acid fights bad cholesterol. So black tea, red wine are good for fighting bad cholesterol. That's why. Okay, you know what?
It's just a nice side effect.
There's the answer to your question. Now you know why I'm so thin. I eat the way I do because I drink red wine, which fights my bad. That's my story. Anybody who drinks bacon from a beer from a cup made of bacon has problems. I'm sorry.
Bacon?
Yes. I made a cup out of bacon, and then I drank beer out of it.
No way.
Absolutely.
What was the benefit?
Bacon flavored beer.
Everything's better with bacon.
and then you get to eat the cup. There's no dishes to do.
Okay, that's the best benefit. No dishes.
Now, how much did it leak though?
It actually didn't. If you weave it tightly enough. It took a couple tries to get, but
Wow.
it does turn out. There's actually pictures on my blog of it because I did a bacon wrapped beer can chicken at the same time.
I have a question about glasses, because we're talking about those. How do you feel about the ones that are stemless?
Maximilian Riedel himself says he doesn't like them, even though he's the one who came up with them.
Okay.
It's a pure marketing gimmick.
Okay.
Okay. People end up holding them like this to be all fashion. It heats it. you're causing the alcohol to evaporate, so when you drink it, you're getting alcohol fumes in your face, changes the nose, changes the flavor, changes the experience.
Okay.
He doesn't like them. It's a marketing thing.
Okay.
Okay. I have actually,
That's why I brought her.
I've got a few at home. I don't like them.
I've actually done a couple of tastings with Maximilian Riedel, and that's where that information and that glass came from. So he's a fantastic gentleman who knows more about alcohol than I do, which is saying something. Shut up, Jackie, I heard that.
She's laughing at you in there.
Yes. I've also done spirits tastings. So there's a glass for tequila. So if you like tequila and you know lemon, no need for lemon and salt. You can sit and sip it like this.
There's a glass for scotch.
There's a glass for scotch. There's a
Proper
proper glass for cognac, and the snifter is dead. The brandy snifter is dead. Because again, you're heating the alcohol with your hand.
Right,
You're
you
getting
are.
the fumes. You're not getting all the flavor. Because what is brandy? Brandy is a distilled liquor made from what's left over from making wine.
Yeah.
You heat the fumes, you're not getting any of that fruit wine flavor. When you drink it properly, it's very, very sweet, almost like a port. It's a think Scotch meets port.
You're gone the way of those round champagne glasses. Remember those?
Oh, those?
Those.
Again, totally wrong.
Yeah.
I've been telling people that this is chocolate wine because when you look at the notes, the word cocoa is going to be mentioned a few times. How many more do I need? Oh, look.
What's that?
Look at that. The last drop for you.
He actually did it.
You did it.
There you go, that's for me.
Yeah.
Are you drinking that?
Actually, no. Somebody else. So don't drink yet. Whatever you do, don't drink yet.
No, here. Wait.
Don't drink yet.
Don't drink it.
Because
He wins. He doesn't have a glass yet.
Peter has one. That's why I left the cork out of this. So it has
Well, it
breathed
has breathed.
a little bit. I'm sorry, Peter. Next time you get first dibs. Jackie and myself. Now again, this was done. This one, the tasting notes don't actually say how long the skins were in there, but again they used French oak, so it's going to be softer because the grapes would have enough tannic structure of their own. Again, we get the full malolactic fermentation, so breaking down those hard acids into softer acids. This will give you a much more fruit forward. Now Cabernet Sauvignon is probably one of the most popular red wines, but it is a hybrid grape. Cabernet, it is the son, some people call it the bastard son, of the Sauvignon Blanc and the Cabernet Franc grape. And that's where it is derived from. So it has a... No.
That's a good description.
And that was actually from a Wine and Line review. That's how they defined it. So it is going to be a little bit softer already than the Cabernet Franc. It's not going to have quite that peppery structure. Okay? It's going to have other notes similar to the Sauvignon Blanc. So again, give it a nose. A lot of fruit. I can feel the tannins. It almost smells a little bit dusty.
That's what I was going to say. It's like earth or dust.
It smells a little bit dusty, and that's the tannins that you're getting out of that.
Earthy.
Okay. When we taste it, it will be notes of cocoa, blackcurrant, vanilla, which I can already get off the nose, and oak. Again, 13% alcohol. The Cab Franc was 13.5. Same total acid though. So the acid is the same even though the alcohol is a little bit different, which is going to again render it a slightly different, fruitier note. Now, the skill testing question for the good glass. How much wine or juice does a food's hold?
820.
85,000 gallons.
No.
150 ml.
9,600
Sorry?
gallons. 4,200 to 9,600 gallons.
Oh, you're so
Wow.
So there you go. So, okay, now first, give them both a nose.
Yeah.
Nose them
This
both.
has much less.
Smell the other thing. We miss you. Next time. Rinse your mouth out. First sip goes really, really dry. You're not going to taste much. My toes just curled a little bit because there's vanilla and cocoa and blackberry. Sorry, didn't mean to embarrass. That's the tannins. Decanting will help that.
Okay.
Now we decanted this for about 45 minutes.
Right.
This is a 2010. We only got this into the store about a month ago. This is still very, very young. I would actually give this probably closer to an hour and a half to 2 hours to decant. Okay. If I had a 2008, 2009, I might decant that for about half an hour to 45 minutes. Any wine. I even have 2004s that I will still decant. 2006s I will decant for 20 minutes to half an hour. Half an hour in the decanter ages it 1 year. So every half hour it sits in a full decanter, it ages a year. There are also two styles of decanter. We have this, which has a very, very flat bottom and a wide base. There are others which are a lot narrower. And some of you know this, I've gone over this before. They have different purposes. This is for a younger wine because you're going to get more air exposure. The more air you get into your wine, the more it'll breathe, the more the tannins will evaporate and you get a smoother wine. Some of the taller, narrower ones will also have bigger bellies. Those are for older wines that have already done their aging. They may be starting to throw some sediment. What happens? You pour the wine, where does the sediment go? It goes into the belly. So you're going to get the sediment in the decanter, not the glass. You're still going to get it to breathe and get really good flavor out of it.
That's the kind I got. The high.
Big belly?
Yeah. I got
Let me-
some Riedel.
let's-
Is it? Oh.
This is a Riedel. So again, you've got, it's a little more narrow, but it's got a bigger belly. So when you pour the wine, your sediment is going to hit right here.
When you say older, how old?
As old as you allow your wine to age, and that again depends on the wine. So, okay, 2007's even 2007 up until now has been judged the best year ever for Ontario Reds. I would still put an 07 in this for a good half hour, 45.
Although a Trius red 07 straight into the glass.
I know because I still have a case worth.
Those suckers are so hard.
So what do you think? Have you tried them in the different glasses? And what's the difference? That one?
The difference is I should be drinking from this glass.
All the time.
Obvious. That's a given. What difference do you notice in the flavor?
It's much softer in here.
Softer?
Yeah.
You don't get that full
You don't
pucker on
get
your tongue?
It doesn't hit your tongue quite as sharp.
The tan is a little.
Oh, I guess I know what I'm getting for Christmas.
The tannins are a little. So A, that's decanted for 45 minutes, and you're drinking it out of the proper glass. I'm very jealous.
If everybody can afford a proper glass for the cat, you know, like.
If you can't afford a Riedel, that's fine. There are other alternatives. I'll be honest, President's Choice has an oversized red. It's $17 for a set of 4. It is a cab glass. So if you drink Cab Franc, so your Cab Merlot blends.
And just a straight Merlot would.
Straight Merlots actually tend to be more of the traditional old fish bowl. Okay, and those are easy enough to come by.
Yeah.
What you want to look for, most importantly, is what you're not drinking out of.
Right.
This thick rolled lip is the worst thing possible for the wine. That's the thing. You want a glass that's got a thin, tapered edge to it. Because this rolled lip, what happens is the wine rolls down, it hits that lip, it rolls over, and it drops. So it's boom. The front of my tongue right now is almost numb from tannin. Because that's where it's rolling over and dropping. It's not flowing. Okay. A lot of restaurants, look,
Yeah.
they'll use this. Restaurants that don't. Bauer, Charcoal, Wildcraft.
Charcoal don't, I know they use the right.
They use the right glasses.
And so does Envers.
Envers, Benjamin's, most fine dining establishments are starting to move more to proper stemware.
They use Riedel.
Oh, I got a 10
On the
Oh,
that's my favorite.
Yeah.
I tried a lot
Frank,
of
I'm
them.
really sorry that you're missing this.
Had the little.
Here's your sample, Frank.
And I'm under, I get letters from Terry, like email. They have a wine tasting, something about those.
Yes, and I
So
love
I'm on the.
From both in your hand.
Rhonda said she'll bring you a bottle.
6 wines. And 6 and a half.
Spend a weekend in St. Mary's.
This is the cheap version. Like I said, the real version, because this is a vintage glass. This is when they go barrel tasting. This is what they're using.
Yeah.
The vineyards, you can actually feel the seams on it here and here. This is a 3-piece construction. The vineyards glass is 1 piece.
There's the Italian.
Hand blown. 1 piece hand blown.
Yeah.
$125 for that glass. Yes.
There's a.
You're making me into like an alcoholic or something. Going on this event or something. All I would do is go and taste and drink and eat.